Hi, I'm Captain Monte with Texas Fishing Tips, and this is your weekly fishing report. We've been having small fronts coming in and north winds. Tides have been up and down, so just depending on where your wind and your tidal flow is kind of where you want to pick your spots. Right now, we're still been working over here on the side of Harbor Island. That tide is out, and fish will start stacking up on these rocks all down this side and pilings. We've been catching slot reds through here, been catching a few oversized. We've also been catching a few mangrove snapper in here, and I'm starting to notice that the male sheephead is starting to show up. So it won't be long now that we'll be getting the bigger females coming in. Out here in front, where all this structure is, out in front of Fina here, there's been a working barge out here, and they're tearing all this structure out in this deeper water. There's 25 foot of water. If they're not scuba diving, if you're not seeing the sign up there that they're scuba diving, the reds have still been on this point in that 20 to 25 foot of water using cut bait, cut mullet, cut menhaden, cut ladyfish. I've been using between a 1 and 3 ounce weight right on top of the hook. I'm using 3 to 4 ounce Kell hooks, and that's been working real well. So you can also drop down some of your bigger live shrimp, and there have been pretty good fish through here. Up against the wall early in the mornings, free lining shrimp or using a little knocker weight right on top of the hook, 3/8 ounce. Been catching slot reds up along these rocks here, and still catching mangrove snapper. So it hasn't quite gotten cold enough to run them snapper off yet. So we've still been getting a few. On them nice calm mornings or afternoons, running out here to the jetties on the north end and the south end. Going through there with our fish finders and looking for the schools. And there's been slot reds out here. There have been bull reds. Primarily using cut baits out here. You can pick your favorite cut baits, your menhaden, your cut mullet. Even ladyfish have been working real well. We've also been catching a few trout up against the rocks. There's good trout coming in right now. So all along these rocks with live shrimp or your favorite plastic, been working real well first thing in the morning. As that sun comes up, then we get out here and play a little more out here on the outside of the jetties. Like I said, there's been good slot reds out here. There's been bull reds. So the October red run is on. I mean, there's good fish coming in right now. So all this area through here been holding good fish. Out here by this sunken ship out here in front of the lighthouse, there's still been mangrove snapper out here. And we've also been catching a few bull reds along this wreck. Free lining shrimp has been the best way for me because there's a lot of structure to get hung up on. So live shrimp, free lining has been working the best. When them sheephead do start showing up, they're going to stack up on this boat out here, and it's a good place to target them, all in this area here. So you can also, depending where that tide is at, if the tide is out, back here in South Bay, still been catching good fish in South Bay. When that tide is out, they're right here on this edge, touching this flat and this deeper water. We've also been catching a few trout through here, some good trout all along this grass flat through here. If the water is way out, then you can jump this bar that's right out here in front of this gut. Those of you in them shallow water boats, y'all can jump that bar and get in this back gut back here. And them redfish and black drum have been stacking all the way to the back here. Just be courteous. There's a lot of boats that do fish this little cut. So if you do run in, put your trolling motor down and try to troll in and out. Don't be just blowing through by people and you know, getting people upset. We all got to fish some of the areas at some time together, so be courteous. Also, this is the time of the year them black drum do start stacking up into sailboat gut. This little area right through here and coming back towards the well, You can use fish bites, or you can use dead shrimp or live shrimp. Um, the black drum have been in here. You can either sight cast them if you got somewhere to get up high on your platform or your console and use your trolling motor and look for them, or you can just sit in one place and throw out some fish bites and some dead shrimp. That's always been the ticket, and the fish are starting to gather through here. And even this main highway gut all the way back here to Summer Hole, it's starting to get that winter pattern. There's a hole back here in the back of what we call Summer Hole that gets about 6 foot deep. And when them cold mornings are, them fish start stacking in that deeper water. So these are all good areas to target right now. I've also been working right here on this corner. You'll see this green buoy right here on the point. Them bull reds in the wintertime do stack up right here on this curve coming from the jetties to Port A. About 25 to 29 foot of water. Been good bull reds through here also. If you come down over here where these houses are, starting a Charlie pasture, there have been black drum, there have been trout, there have been keeper reds up against these docks here and these granite rocks. You cannot tie up to the piers. You can either anchor or use your trolling motor. That's the best ticket. Slow incoming or outgoing tide is when I like it the best right there. You can also come down here towards the Point of Mustang. There's a set of rocks that they put out here on the Point of Mustang, this edge right here, on a north wind like we've been getting. This is a good area to target for redfish and trout. Free line and shrimp is the ticket. We've also been coming over here to Pelican. There's some rocks that fall a little further out here, and I'll work free line and shrimp, or shrimp under a popping cork, or even your favorite plastic. I've been catching a few good trout right out here on these deeper rocks. And I've also been catching a lot of skipjack out here. So I've been trying to keep all my skipjack, and then later part of the day, then I decided to go to the jetties. Well, then I have my bait. So a lot of skipjack. If you do catch skipjack and you're fishing the next day or even later part of that day, save them, because them redfish, they love them. Also coming back into island moorings, like I was saying earlier, the drum are starting to really start stacking up. This whole area down this channel is good area for drum. I mean, I've just come through here with my trolling motor, working it real slow, and get up on my console when the sun's out, and I'll try to see that school. You can actually see the fish come up. And if you see that, then have your people or your baits ready, some dead shrimp or live shrimp, just a lead head. And once you see them, then chunk into that school, and you can get your limits pretty fast. Anywhere around them channel markers are a good place to ambush them. You can just anchor up, and you just sit on them to sit on and wait, and they'll come through. Back here, these houses, especially when that wind is really blowing and we've got a north wind, these houses through here, all these docks, they're holding fish, redfish, trout, black drum. The only deal is, cannot tie up to the docks. You have to be under anchor, either with the trolling motor or a conventional anchor. So be courteous to the homeowners. Try not to beat their docks up with weights, but live shrimp or dead shrimp, especially when the winter really starts kicking off, good fish back here. Corpus Christi Bay is calm enough. Like I've been saying over for months, all these wells out here, these little gas platforms, they hold good fish out here. Some of these wells have rock piles that extend off of them. Some of them are just mud bottoms. You can kind of tell if you go through there with your trolling motor and your fish finder and go around these wells, you'll see the rock piles. They'll extend off, and they'll usually go towards Corpus. So go around there, and if you'll see that rock pile, usually you'll see the fish start bulking up on the screen. If they do, put spot lock on, live shrimp, just free lining, bend the ticket. We've been out here catching speckled trout, some good speckled trout the last couple weeks. We've also been catching bull reds out here. There have been black drum out here. few of the other guys and myself, we've been catching triple tails out here. This is a perfect time because everything is spawning. We've also been catching some pompano out here. So make sure that the Corpus Bay is calm. Usually in the mornings it's pretty flat. As it gets a little later part of the mornings, it'll start picking up the wind. And you really don't want to be out here if it picks up too much because Corpus Bay can get pretty treacherous pretty quick. Also out here on the bayfront side, up along these rocks out here, still mangrove snappers out here. Been catching some good little puppy drum, black drum through here. We've been catching mangrove snapper and even slot reds and speckled trout. So these rocks out in front of the bayfront still holding good fish. They like live shrimp, or if you don't get live shrimp, fish bites, the shrimp flavored has been working the best. Thanks for watching. I'm Captain Monte Graham.